students, I am your biology teacher Swathi, and in this video we are going to discuss the chapter The Fundamental Living Cell for class 9. This chapter is included in your first term syllabus. Up till this, we have seen the introduction of the cell, that what actually the cell is, why cell is known as structure and functional unit of life, what is the composition of the cell, who discovered the cell, what is microscope, what is the function of microscope, shapes and sizes of the cell. Then we have seen the functioning of red blood cells, white blood cells, nerve cells, muscle cells, and guard cells. And we have also seen that according to size, which cells are able to be seen by naked eye, which cell needs to be seen by light microscope, and which cell needs to be seen by electron microscope. So now we are going to discuss about cell theory, what actually the cell theory is. So in the year 1838, Matthias Caledon and Theodor Scaven proposed the basic cell theory. And let me tell you, students, the name of scientist is very, very important. So if you are asked who gave the cell theory, so you should know that the basic cell theory was given by Matthias Caledon and Theodor Scaven. But in 1858, another scientist came forward whose name is Virchow, made an addition to the existing cell theory. Okay? So now the cell theory which we actually read or study is known as modern cell theory. So the postulates of modern cell theory says that the cell is the smallest unit of structure of all living things. That means whatever a living thing or organism is there, all of the living organisms are made of the cell. Small cells are only contained in that organism, and then it depends that whether that is like a unicellular organism or a multicellular organism, but irrespective of that, cell will be the basic unit of that, each and every organism. Then the cell is the unit of function of all living organisms. That means in all of the living organism, all of the functioning or the various processes will be performed by the cells only. Suppose if we talk about the movement of the cell, so the cells will only help in that. If we talk about the respiration process, if we talk about exchange of gases, if we talk about digestion of the food, how the food is ingested or indulged, so in all these processes, the cells will only be involved. And next, and the last postulate is the cells arise from pre-existing cells. That means whatever the living cells we are having, those living cells will only form the replica copies of their own kind. So from that source, only new cells will be formed. It is not so that if we are having a cell A and randomly we will get a cell Z. It is not so. Like if we are having A, we can get A1, A2. So that will be like more or less similar to their parents. So the process by which the cells can make their replica copies, it can be sexual reproduction also, in which two parents will be involved, mother and father. Or it can also be by sexual reproduction also, asexual reproduction also, in which only one parent will be involved, and the chances of variation or differences is very, very less because only one parent will be there. So exact replica copies of that will be there. So if we suppose we are having this cell, this is one cell, and if this cell will divide, so this cell will divide to form this small cell and small cell. So two cells at the last of like division we will get. So from one parent cell, two cells are okay, and they will be similar to their parents. So that's all postulates of the cell theory. Let's repeat it once again. The cell is the smallest unit of structures of all living things. The cell is the unit of function of all living things. All cells arise from pre-existing cells. Next, we have type of organisms. So on the basis of number of cells, the organisms can be divided into two categories. Number one, unicellular organisms. So the organisms that are made up of single cells. So in that, the unicellular organism, only one cell be there, and that cell will only constitute a whole organism. So whatever are the processes or the functioning are there, all those functioning will be performed by that single cell only. Inside that cell. No different cells will be involved for that processes. For example, the example of unicellular organisms are amoeba, paramecium, and bacteria. So unicellular organisms have only one cell. Uni means single, cellular means cell. The organism that do all the things needed for their survival within that one cell. So in case of unicellular organisms, a single cell will only perform all of the things or the function processes, whatever is needed for their survival will be performed in that single cell. For example, amoeba is a unicellular organism. It takes in or ingests, like it takes in the other unicellular organisms for food to get the energy. So in that way it does. And for the movement which is shown by amoeba is known as pseudopodia. So by expanding or like contracting its body surface, in that way it moves with the help of pseudopodia. For case of amoeba. And the one important point or the quality of the unicellular organism is that they are also able to respond to the environment to get rid of the waste, like the process of excretion, grow and reproduce. So like by mostly unicellular organisms divide by the process of asexual production. In only one single parent will be involved. Suppose one amoeba is there, so amoeba will parent amoeba will divide and two daughter amoeba will be. Unicellular organisms can include both prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So both prokaryotes and eukaryotes can be included in unicellular organisms. All of the bacteria come under unicellular organisms, like you can see E. coli bacteria is there, Streptococcus bacteria is there, Hello bacteria is there. Then all protists are also classified under this only. Amoeba, Euglena, Paramecium. Kids see the variety of shapes also in which all these cells are found. Okay? Then at the last, we have some of the algae. We can't say that all algae are unicellular, but some of the specific algae are there. Like you can see, Chlamydomonas are there. This blue-green algae is there, and Saccharomyces species is also there. Can you tell me the functioning of fungus? Each and everyone love to eat these fluffy cakes and bakery products. So in all those bakery products, Saccharomyces cerevisiae is only used. So to get that fluffy texture of those. Okay. Next, we have multicellular organism. So these in multicellular organism, instead of single cell, we have multiples of the cell, or the collection of cell is there that assume function in a coordinated manner. So means in a combined or coordinated manner, only those multicellular organisms will perform their function. But different cells are specialized to perform particular tasks in the body. Like it is not so that each of the every function will be performed by a single cell only. Okay, so different cell will be involved in different process. Hence, they are named as multicellular organisms. Means multi means many, and cellular means cells. So multiple cells are combined in the multicellular organisms. Suppose we have a single cell is there. So various cells will combine. The collection of cells will be known as tissue. Tissues will combine to form organ. So in short, organs are the collection of tissues. Tissues will combine to form organ system. So organ system basically is the collection of various organs. Like suppose we can say circulatory system is there, excretory system is there, nervous system is there. So in that way, the organ system will be formed, and organ system will form a total organ. So in that, if we are saying that a particular cell is specialized to perform a particular function, so if we can see that brain is involved in the nervous system, so it has a role in nervous system only. It will not have a role in circulatory system. And suppose heart is there, so heart have a function in circulatory system. Kidneys are involved in the excretory system. Lungs will be involved in respiratory system. So in that way, different cells have different function in different organisms. But yes, the thing is that they work in coordinated manner. That means that all together, like suppose if we are having circulatory system, so various like organs will be involved. So various organs are involved with various cells are working all together. So all together, all those various cells are coming up and they are performing a particular organism. So if we can see that if the level of advancement, so the advanced level of advancement will be more in multicellular organism if in comparison to unicellular organism. Because in unicellular organism, we just are having a single cell. That single cell only all of the function is going on. Whereas if we talk about multicellular organism, they have different levels, different organs are there. Organs are involved in organ system, and in that way that function. Okay. And the examples of multicellular organisms can be plants, human beings can be there, animals can be there. See, these are the example of multicellular organisms. Insects can be there, in which the exchange of gases take place by different organs. Then the circulation, then the digestion and other. Then is the human body, which we are well versed with. Then we have plant in which that some cells are involved in the process of conduction of water, some are involved in the conduction of food, some will be involved in the process of transpiration, and some will be involved in the shading of the leaves. So different processes are going on in an organism, but in a coordinated manner. So that's what we call multicellular organisms. Uh, so that's all for today's video, students. I hope that you are able to understand whatever I am teaching. If you have any queries or any doubts related to whatever I am teaching, you are free to comment in the comment box, comment section, and let me know what all are your queries. And one more thing, students, else I told in previous video also, that before watching any new videos, please watch the previous videos so that you can understand the concept in more better way. Because this is a basic, and if in future 11th or 12th classes, or like if graduation or masters, if you are planning to study science, these are the basic things which will be very beneficial for you. So stay happy, students, stay blessed, keep learning. Bye bye. Thank you.